success with that Fredrin. I think it will still end up being a very important pick, at least for today and tomorrow. Tupai Esports this time on that blue side, getting that first pick.
Alright, so first pick is already going to be a slight advantage for blue side, but I think more importantly is how you set it up. In terms of what the meta is right now, it's very, very flexible. It usually starts with 1 or 2 openers. However, it depends on the flavor of the day. Some teams feel like, you know, Kaja should be the way to go. Other teams prefer letting the Joy through and going for that first pick, but at the end of the day, some meta picks are just better than others.
Esports, they have been banning out, I believe, the Joy. They've been banning the Kadita, which has been a big focus. Well, actually, Kadita was banned once by A8 and I believe once by GameLab. Tupai Esports will take the liberty of taking out the Kaja.
Alright. So now that Kaja has gone to Tupai Esports, don't have to worry about it too much. I'm curious to see whether they still are going to prioritize the Fredrin. Then again, Tupai Esports, we have seen them actually played it a couple of times. More importantly, their assassins have also come to light as well. So AA Esports probably have their numbers down in the stats. Fanny gets banned out. Okay, let's see Tupai. Where are they leading towards to? Maybe we can get some kind of idea of what kind of draft they want.
Especially having that first pick, you have a lot more freedom in terms of banning, right? Because you always get that priority overall. I think the burden now lies with AA Esports. I personally believe that Fredrin will still end up going through. It's more whether Tupai Esports wants to go for that first pick.
For sure. Usually when we see people draft, I would expect the first 2 bans to be very meta picks. The third ban is where it gets a little bit interesting, right? Where we see a little bit of nuance in these teams wanting to have a slight advantage for maybe a team fight composition, a slight advantage, and maybe a particular interaction for one of the lanes. And that's what I'm trying to get from Tupai Esports here. Now that their timer is already done, we should technically be seeing a ban coming up real soon here. But A8 Esports, they haven't really shown their cards yet either.
Faramis has been a big focus for a lot of these teams.
Huge, in fact, yeah.
Either picked or banned, and most of the time it's banned on that red side. So I think Tupai Esports mostly will be focusing on, I think someone like a Glue, we've seen the Kadita getting banned in that first phase. Rarely we see like assassins, I think.
I don't know, man.
I'm personally looking at the Glue ban.
Yeah, I think Glue is way too safe. I feel like he's way too safe, and yes, he does provide a good amount of zoning, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about, like, it's about priority, right? A lot of these games so far here in the Snapdragon series, we've caught up a little bit. ALVA gets banned out for the side of Tupai Esports, so again, they want to make sure that the EXP isn't really enabled here for the side of AA Esports, especially for someone like Fondir, who's had incredible performances on the ALVA.
So Valentina gets banned by A8, which means that Faramis also gets let through, but I feel like Faramis as a first... Well, on blue side, Faramis is probably the pick that you go for lesser.
Okay.
Probably.
I feel like here's where you pick up Fredrin, because
Fredrin,
right? Or like your jungler. Okay, Martis, that's totally fine with me. So now AA and Esports, if they decide to be like, okay, we could technically let Faramis through, whoever gets Faramis, the opposing side would get an artillery mage almost straight away. Because Valentina is gone, so it's not like you can mirror your opponent anymore.
Yeah, it's that makes the Farsa so much more desirable for AA, right? But even then, I think Tupai Esports already have a decent way getting through the Farsa. In the Martis is one. We've seen examples how Grot was picked up, Ling to dive the backline. So far, today at least, Farsa has been really suffering in that win rate.
That's the thing. Most people think that Farsa is like, wow, so much damage, a lot of inbuilt damage, therefore I scale faster, therefore I'm going to be the big boy. You're not that guy, especially when you start thinking about the relationships between the EXP and as well as, you know, the Roam support. That's where it gets a little bit difficult. And now we're seeing AA Esports. I'm expecting this Cho to go into the EXP lane.
They've done this before.
It's stressing me out, but I like the double flex pick coming out from AA Esports.
I definitely do prefer the Fredrin. I'm with you. I prefer the Fredrin in the jungle. We saw how Ozu played at Cho jungle, but without that flicker, it just makes life so much tougher for AA. It takes away that agency that you are looking for, right? And that means that Faramis goes over to Tupai Esports. Now they have a front line that can really run into AA.
Well, let's see. Tupai Esports might shake things up if they lock in an artillery mage on top of the Faramis. It forces AA to be like, I guess I have to show my mage. I guess I have to show something, because I don't think they're going to show who their EXP laner is or support just yet. But instead, Tupai Esports take a different angle here, which I kind of like, where they lean more towards Glue because they know they can naturally get an advantage.
And that kind of tells us what Tupai Esports wants to accomplish, right? Already have a very robust front line that wants to get in the face of AA Esports. And even for Tupai Esports themselves, throughout the entirety of the league, they have been just running team fight comps. They like to get down and dirty, and it's something that AA Esports are glad to receive with their opening picks.
Yeah, and I think, all right. The fact that Tupai Esports specifically went for the glue here, they've shown their EXP. The only things that they haven't really shown is who's their roamer and who's their gold laner. Wild guess, but Tupai Esports is probably leaning more towards what exactly, what's a good matchup for real Mitsuno. And I think, I mean, they could ban out the Swiss Army knives on purpose to force them into a good matchup. Like force A8 to be early locking in Brody, early locking in these lane bullies, Melissa probably coming in from RV.
Is there still a chance that this Faramis goes into the roam?
There is still a possibility, but it really depends on what these upcoming bans from AA Esports is going to be, right? Is it going to be more teamfight oriented? Is it going to be how impactful is... Yeah, there we go. Gold lane bans. All right. A8 as well as I'm assuming Tupai Esports are kind of on the same page.
And A8 gets to call first dib on that second pick phase also. So if they want to show the gold laner afterwards, I think they are completely fine with doing so. You're taking away all these big options. We have Melissa, Brody, Carry left in the pool. And I think Brody is probably going to be the X factor. Because Tupai Esports, they do play the Brody.
It probably will be, but again, just quite a tanky frontline for the side of A8 Esports here, and I think Tupai have recognized that. The question is, how do they disengage from the composition of A8 Esports? I feel like if they lose out on Lolita, it could be a pretty tough game.
I think so too. I'm looking at the Kadita still being an option for both teams. Melissa getting banned out by Tupai Esports, so we're going down that gold laner list.
Now the question is, does A8 double down on their plan? They're like, okay, let's just get rid of another marksman, right? Who else could we really get rid of? We could probably get rid of the carry early on because our tank up is going to be pretty tanky overall. And hopefully they don't fall into the trap of, hey, let's lock in the carry. I see the glue. We could probably get rid of it. I see the Martis. We could probably also get rid of it because then it's going to be an almost guaranteed losing matchup. But I want to see A8 Esports ban out the Brody right here.
Take away what the Tupai Esports are comfortable with, I guess. But does the Brody bring enough for Tupai in that early game?
For Tupai at the very least, they get rid of Moskov instead. Okay, for Tupai at the very least, if they lock in the Brody, what they do guarantee is a winning lane matchup. And that says a lot because, again, you can force priority, you can control the lane, you can basically starve out the laner before they even get to play the game. And I think with Brody, who is a one-item marksman, in comparison to Carry, which is a 3-item marksman, it does take a little bit of time.
Tupai Esports having that last ban, I think that they will also double down on that gold laner. So, thinning out the hero pool. Honestly, not much left.
Yeah, really isn't much left
Carry,
here.
Brody, what else do we have?
I think there's no point touching the marksmans at this point, right? If there's anything else they should really consider, it's probably how AA Esports is going to disengage from these fights. I would also make an argument for like maybe to limit down on the number of supports that they could possibly pick, but instead they're the ones who ban out the Brody. So unless Tupai Esports are confident in one of their picks, in one of their like off-meta marksman picks, I'm curious to see it, because A8, I'm guessing carry here. If not, like, where are we going to go with this, right? Are they going to go with potentially mages in the gold lane as well? We haven't seen that in a while. Harith, Lunox?
That kind of could be where we funnel towards, honestly. I think the main concern you mentioned earlier on about having Brody for Tupai Esports is that the lane is won by default. But now with Brody out of the way, AA Esports, they're just going to pick up the carry, lesser things to worry about in lane. At least you guarantee that this carry won't get hard bullied by her lane matchup.
I mean, if they lock in Harith, she's gonna get bullied really hard. Lunox even I would also make an argument for it, and I think that would force Arfi to actually pick up the Inspire instead of something like a Purify like we saw previously, to at least give him a leg up in lane. But we'll see here. Tupai Esports looking to finish off their composition. Is there anything else they can really flex around? I personally don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, this could be tough. This could be, unless they throw glue as a support. Nope, never mind.
Alright, there it is. We still have the Beatrix for Tupai. So I guess that's one of the remaining gold laners on that list.
I suppose, but usually when you see Beatrix, you need an enabler, right? You need somebody who kind of sets it up for you. You can't expect someone like Martis to like push people back into your Bennett's rage. You can't expect, you know, Farmis to consistently pull people back from Nibiru's passion. So I think with the Kadita, there is some form of setup. AA Esports, they're probably going to recognize this. How are they going to handle it though, Lancelot?
It's not that easy to catch.
Okay, okay.
A lot of iframes, right, for AA. Kadita doesn't really catch Lancelot easily overall. Is this a XP lane for Lancelot?
Fondir! This guy!
By the way,
this guy!
This is the guy that played Yin.
Like, if they just locked in Yin, I would have been fine with that as well. Like, at least there is some logic in taking away the call Altar. But to have Fondir in the EXP lane like this, oh, you gotta give this man props. He's got some confidence.
Elimination series of all places, right? He is whipping out an XP Lancelot. I want to pick your brain quickly. What does this Lancelot accomplish? Like, how does he do into the glue?
I don't know. I've never seen Lancelot actually go up against the glue. My wild guess is that he's going to push the lane real fast and get out of there like a Benedetta. Like that's all I can really think of, because I don't think he wins the 1v1 against glue. Actually, thinking about it, yep, doesn't win that, or shouldn't win that.
Then I would have made so much more. Okay, Ozu is the Lancelot. So you can breathe a sigh of relief. So we get Fondir on the Fredrin.
I'm sad. Fondir didn't have as much confidence as I thought he had.
One thing we can be sure is that they are not really affected by GameLab.
That's for sure. They're definitely still having a good time overall, but I think it's going to be really important that these gold lanes are highly... I mean, look at that. Look at the early rotations coming out of this guy. Again, they're trying to punish real Mitsuo, as you saw in his stats. He is going to be the carry for Tupai Esports, so hopefully he gets the farm that he desires.
We've seen what the Martyrs can do, you know, in the jungle against these kind of assassin junglers. Tupai Esports, I'm looking for them to replicate that same success. In this case, I did mention that maybe the Kadita is a decent pick for Tupai. I'm glad to see Jeff Hardy on this pick overall. You do have that lockdown. They do make their way towards the top side, seeing Ozu, who's going to hit level 4. So I don't think Tupai Esports wants to be around Dodo. With the Shadow Stampede, not able to pull RV back, but I don't think it's the fight that they want to take.
I'm not so sure what exactly Tupai Esports was trying to accomplish there. I don't think they had much of a plan. I guess they didn't know where exactly Ozil started and expected him to start on the orange side of his own jungle, but instead, now that they recognize this, you can see that Martis straight away walks into the enemy side, sees the Yve, and now he has to think twice. Do I actually want to take this camp? And if so, who's available to respond? They see the Lancelot in the mid lane, so now I think he should be able to take this no problem.
And they also has Kesu with him as well. Jeff Hardy still at level 3. Kesu is gonna hit his Will of the Dragon very soon. Bottom side, bit of a fight. Jace does find Ozu, but Ozu should be able to dash out of it. They have no way to lock him down, honestly, unless Dodo gets that Shadow Stampede connection. Even then, we are seeing kind of the durability of AA Esports. Fondir forced to flicker away. Dodo can't catch up.
Okay, now the rest of the team is going to try and get in there. Real world manipulation comes on through. They immediately find first blood onto Lancelot. His backline's getting attacked. Hesu tries his best, but Jace does not care. Fondir lives, but not long enough to kill Alfonso. As we see Richie, he's trying to run away. He gets pulled away by the slam for now. No way. Let Easy still alive. Breath of the Ocean to bail him out. Kesu isn't done with it. Third hit of G Kundo is more than enough.
Well, 3-0 for Tupai Esports. We were just questioning kind of the motives, right, of Tupai Esports, but they won the turtle fight. They got the turtle. They got 3 kills. And RP is behind in XP despite the early pressure from AA.
I don't know. It's rather interesting overall, right? Like, I would have expected Letizi to not be so disrespectful. He did not need to necessarily chase for that kill, but he did anyways. And now you can see that Martis, he wants it bad.
Yeah, Richie, he is in a rough spot. They were able to get rid of Jace, and Richie survives. Tupai Esports fighting off a bit more than they can chew. Dodo also sacrificed to the Wolves. RP picks up that kill. And this is good recovery for A8.
False sense of confidence onto Jace. Hard to say, but he definitely shouldn't have pushed up that far. You can definitely see the bloodlust in his eyes. Like, he knew that he was within range to actually get the decimate off, just couldn't seal the deal, close the lid on that story. But Jeff Hardy, oh, Kesu.
Yeah, not gonna even try.
Oh, it would have been good. At least chunk him out, I suppose. But Kesu zones him out, and this means that Jeff Hardy is really out, has to walk through into the lane if he wants to make sure that Real Mitsuo is going to be alive in case A8 Esports tries to at least go for a dive. Here's the reinforcements.
Charging out the Jikundo, goes straight for Jace, pushes him back, and with RP around here, just going to shred through his health bar. The Cow Ultra keeping Jace alive, also going in for the knockout, finds the kill, and Kesu Shunbolt away, gets dragged back by Dodo. So at least Tupai Esports, they trade 1-4-1.
Yeah, but Jeff Hardy, he's in a really unconventional position. Arfi, he might not know.
And Arfi dashes away, just getting the timing right. Ozu is the one that's going to be put on the chopping block. Real manipulation. Ozu with the iframes, dodges everything. Latizi moves on forward. Arfi flickers to safety. Latizi really wants that kill, but Kesu comes in and kicks him away. Real Mitsuna, how do you miss a point-blank shot? And then he's going to get punished with death. Finds Arfi, but AA finds 4 kills in return.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is what happens. You know, I have a big issue with team members just not taking the kill when... like, I get you want to funnel your carries here, but there are some situations where you just gotta finish it off. I don't know. It could be one of those situations where Dodo wasn't in range or just waiting for a cooldown. Hard to say.
Another fight. Fondia and Kesu doing a great job of keeping Tupai Esports away. Fondia should have enough durability to take a bullet from afar. But Tupai Esports, they don't have damage. Dodo will try to pull him back, but Fondia gladly takes it. And Dodo now forced to pop the Cold Altar. Kesu is there. Fondia gets dragged by Latizi. And Real Mitsuno comes in for the pickup, finding a double kill.
Yep, and this is what we expect. Tupai Esports, they know that you can get into these fights. They know that there's a lot of protocols in A8 Esports' overall game plans. And Jeff Hardy is just being really annoying right now. Tickling Kesu with auto attacks.
Finally buy a bit of space for Real Mitsuno. Also, to chunk down that tier 1, Kesu. Dangerously low, Dodo gets kicked away. But Tupai Esports, they grab a tier 1. At least a trade. They did get the bottom one.
Yeah, Arfi was able to get that all by himself, but Mitsuo currently 4-1. He's already got the Blade of Despair into the Swift Boots with a Fury Hammer by his side in comparison to a Corrosion side. And that's about it. No golden staff just yet coming out from Arfi.
It's a minor goal lead for A Esports. Less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000, but still, it makes the difference here, right?
Yes.
It really does make the difference at the end of the day. Now, 2 items fully complete for the side of Arfi. It's still going to be a little tough here because Blade of Despair is a high-value item which gives a lot of base damage. Oh, Fond here.
Looking for Dodo, gets a taunt, clips him on the edge. Kesu is also there with them. They do get the burst onto Richie, forcing the flicker, going straight for the Eve. The ultimate getting cancelled. Real manipulation, but Kesu finds the kick, gets rid of Jace. Arfi shows up, Dodo in danger. Arfi just gonna flicker forward for this kill. Latizi couldn't save him. And Ozu just easily sidestepped that bullet. AA getting the better end of the trade.
Yep, he's going to take the Thorn Rose here, but I don't think it matters at the end of the day. Is there a setup that can be done? Jeff Hardy is taking the left side of the map, but he should be taking the right, especially since Turtle is spawning up. But what do they do now, right? They have to make a decision. Do they go back to the lane? And yes, it means that they are going to be giving up on this for now with Latizi as well as Doodle, trying to, buy some time in hopes that Martis gets here.
The Blue is going to try, but no one is there to contest that retribution. Jeff Hardy straight towards Richie, decides to not come in. Now Kesu is going to find him. They will keep him controlled. The Thorn Rose almost finishing off Jeff Hardy. Kesu able to get away. Fondia getting a big taunt. No follow-up just yet. Re-engage from Ozu. Straight into the back line. Dodo completely deleted. Jeff Hardy gets out, but his teammate will be hung to dry. Latizi still healthy again, taunted by Fondia. Jace re-engages. Where's the damage from Tupai Esports? Jace doing a fantastic job of keeping everyone under control, buying enough time for Beatrix to show up. Real Mitsuno pumping out his own damage. Ozu getting clipped at the very edge. Still gets away. Jace, can you find his final kill?
Okay.
Still has to decimate with him. And AA Esports doesn't win that fight.
Yep, they don't win that fight, but they even out the kill score. But more importantly, A8 Esports are focused on the objectives. They're 1 turret up, 2 turtles on their side compared to 1 turret and 1 turtle for the side of Tupai Esports. But look at that score, 11-11 with a slight 1.4k gold lead on the side of A8 Esports.
And the DHS for RFE done. Rumisuno just got the Malefic Roar as well. All things considered, you know, it's a great game for the Beatrix. 5-1-1, 2 core items, ready to join the fight.
Yeah, but at what sacrifice here? Like Richie, he may be 1-2-9 in comparison to Alfonso, who is 0-4-6, right? If we're talking about gold, Richie eventually is going to scale, and I don't know, Dodol, hopefully he's got what it takes to actually get the items that he needs, and in this case, it's going to be a Clock of Destinies and a Lightning Truncheon.
There it is, Jace, kickback again. Call Ulta used very early on. Now real one manipulation into the face of everyone. TC just trying to buy some time for his team, but he is also dropping low. Jeff Hardy accesses the back line, but ends up getting picked off instead. And RV, he now has free reign. Tupai Esports losing their Kadita. Mid-tier 1 getting pressured, also going straight for the kill, finds it.
Ooh, nicely done. Good dashes through the teammates of Tupai, but it's not over just yet.
Still looking for more. AA Esports wants to make it decisive. Jace just kicked away from his turret. Can't find a decimate. And that will be also picking up a killing spree.
Yeah, again, some just weird, like, I understand that Tupai is looking to get certain things back, but they have to recognize that A8 Esports is playing very objective-based, right? Understand that whenever an objective timer is coming up, keep in mind that A8 Esports probably have already thought about, no, that steal isn't going to happen there. I'm sorry, Real Mitsuo, it's not going to happen like that.
Definitely not in that fashion. Not against A8 at least.
Yeah, not against A8, but also he's been playing a very solid game on Lancelot. His mechanics are extremely sharp.
Yeah, finally able to play the game. If you get to play the game, it makes a lot of difference.
Look, he got access to Lancelot, and he is not a purple buff jungler dependent sort of person. I mean, it's important to have, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have it.
Jeff Hardy with a lot of patience, but you have Kesu there to intercept this Kadita. Overall, AA Esports, they have all the bases covered. Looking for the glue. Jeff Hardy is going to show up right now, going straight for RP with a Petrify. Double knockup. That is the setup that Tupai Esports have been looking for. 2 quick kills in on mid lane.
Yep. Now they have to split up their forces to take care of these Lord Empowered minions. They lose a tier 2 for this. Martis should be able to clear up that top side. Mid tier 1 being held down by the mid as well as supported. Wait, potential play be coming out here.
Kesu.
Does he do it? No, he
doesn't commit. Yeah, with Jay showing up and also being dead. Ooh, what a dodge.
What a dodge. Good call coming in from Tupai. Going up to the top side and saying, you know what? There's nothing we can do. They're setting up for a potential kill. We might as well let the tier 2 fall on top side rather than losing a tier 1 mid. That's just the differential of tower value.
All things considered, the fact that Tupai Esports have been able to hold on to this mid-tier 1 for so long and kept it so healthy. And they did lose a team fight early on as well.
Yep. They just want to make sure that those, you know, the kill score, it's not about the gold, it's about the kill score here, okay? It's all about getting that mad respect.
Keeping that turret alive for all things. Did you see how far Jeff Hardy is? He is on the hunt.
He is on the hunt. Man, he is looking for angles. He's playing like a Natalia, which is really weird to see on a Kadita, but if somebody falls into that trap, it's basically over with nobody else to actually open up the map. Well, it's easy. He's got to be careful.
Also coming to potentially claim this purple buff for his own, but unfortunately cannot find it. He's just doing a fantastic job of being that front line alongside Jay. They have so much interruption onto A8 Esports. And one of the few things that the Frederick hates is all these displacements.
Okay, I mean the displacement is annoying, but I think more importantly is whether or not you can dodge the right abilities. Oh no.
He just lost the glue.
He did not want it. He wasn't ready, and I don't think they communicated very well where Kesu was. And he doesn't. He's not a threat. He doesn't have the way of the dragon. He's not going to do anything.
But it's very important for AA to find out where the Kadita is also. You know.
But then again, I don't think Kadita is in positions which really threaten them, right? I think A8 Esports recognize that Kadita is somewhere around the map. Where exactly she is, they have no idea. But as long as they stick relatively close together, they can actually find some stragglers rotating into her.
Second Lord on the board. AA slowly whittling it down, and look at where Kesu is. Oh, big angle, Jace. That is the target they were looking for. Kick into a weird angle. Call also comes out from Dodo, but actually doesn't protect Jace yet. Rumitsuno pushing Kestu back. Huge damage from the Beatrix. Fondia unleashing that. Oh, just massive heal. The TZ now shows up, but Ozil is in the back line. Got rid of the Faramis. AA Esports finding assassinations, and Tupai, they can't really do much. And Jeff Hardy, he has been spotted right into the ton of Fondia. They funnel him into a trap. And AA just found crucial kills. Ozil can do whatever he pleases. Rumitsuno is next on the chopping block, and AA just pushing Tupai Esports back. But it's not over yet. DZ forced the flicker. Ozil looking for him alongside Fondia. They get the knockup. Taunt is there. DZ dropping low, and Ozil is unstoppable. Now Rumitsuno not really threatened. Finally, Jace gets an exchange. Fondia going down, but A8 is just there to buy time.
Ooh.
That Lord is most likely going to be Darius. Tupai Esports cannot reach in time.
Oh, that's so unfortunate there. Oh man, Jace, he could have just tried to book it, but he didn't have retribution, so they already called it off. They knew they were not going to get the Lord this time around, but they were able to actually get a number of kills back, just not enough to even out that gold lead that A8 Esports is making. But not that it matters, right? 3K gold lead means they hit their item power spikes faster, only by very marginal amounts, right? Because in about 2 minutes or so, I would argue 3 minutes, it's not going to matter.
A8 sending a squad into to the top side. Well, we expected scrappy fights from Tupai Esports. Right? It's been chaotic so far. All these drawn-out skirmishes. And even through that, Ozil has been able to find very crucial kills in that backline. So this Lancelot continues to be a thorn in the side for Tupai.
Yeah, A8 definitely have the mechanics to make this happen, and now the mid-tier 1 should be falling, but they should be able to hold on to the mid-tier 2. Jace is going to handle top side, but here's the thing, right? Real Mitsua, as much gold as he has, as much as he is trying to do, he's going to need his team to peel for him. If he gets chunked down low, Ozil will chase him down to the end of the earth just to secure the kill.
So far throughout this game, we've been seeing Dodo having to use that ultimate to protect his team very preemptively. With just aggressive AA has been. Jeff Hardy, kick into the wall, pinned down, and vaporizes. Arfi takes care of that. AA Esports have found slide opening on that mid side. Arfi gets pulled back, forced to flicker to safety. Fondia comes in with a taunt, but Tupai Esports hold this turret. Ozil though, not gonna wait, dodges the root again. Just mechanical prowess from this Lancelot. He is so good with those iframes, and Latizi is the one that's forced back.
Oh, played really well by Ozil. That could have been a really big punish for the side of Tupai Esports had they picked him off. And they also get the last outer turret here. Only inhibitors still stand with 60 seconds on the clock here. Ideally for A8, they should have ended this sooner, but Tupai have been fighting back tooth and nail to ensure that the gold lead isn't too far. And now when we pull up the items, we are seeing very large differences between the two when it comes down to the supports, but that's because the items for Kadita are way more expensive compared to traditional tank items.
And AA Esports have been doing a good job in keeping Jeff Hardy away from their carries. Early on, Jeff Hardy was able to get a 1 or 2 kills, but right now he can't reach Richie, can't reach Arfi, and it was AA Esports for most of the times that has been finding those engages, isolating those front lines from Tupai.
17 minutes into the game so far, it looks like nothing is out of the ordinary. None of the crazy new items have been utilized as of yet. No.
Hardy forced to use that ultimate just to get away.
No, but Jace.
Ozil is going to show up. Jace spotted already. Richie taking a heap of damage from Rumitsuno, but they might end up losing Latizi though. He's isolated. Oh, using the split, trying to get away. Ozil can't find a kill. But with the front line from Tupai Esports already forced back, AA Esports have found an indirect lead, and now they get the taunt from Fondia. They take care of Jeff Hardy and RP. He's just gonna go to work. Jace expends the immortality, but comes back, getting assassinated by RP again. Fondia with the flicker into a taunt, finds the shutdown onto the Beatrix, and AA Esports have found a massive team fight.
Yep, a huge hole, and they have a mid-pushing wave. Farmers can't be the only one here as they hold Latizi hostage for as long as possible. He takes a while to go down, but Ozil is going to secure it, and now these inhibitors should start falling, and that should also be Crystal, unless...
That's the flicker, no kick just yet. Kesu is going to give up his life for this, but Dodo Alfonso all alone in front of his dying Crystal and just has not enough to protect that. AA Esports finds a very scrappy game 1 win.
Woo, boy, Tupai tried to get under the skins of A8, but A8 hold on courageously, out-mechanicking their opponents here in game number 1.
They have been there before. GameLab showed them the taste of chaos, and A8 have acclimated to that. It's a very, very... It wasn't the cleanest victory, but A8 definitely was able to show their chops in this game 1.
Yeah, and especially with the protocols that they have,